I've been listening to you so well. I didn't know I'm holding you up so long. This conversation is just amazing. Let's let's start to wrap it up. I'm sorry about that. So we got to touch on it real quick. Is that you come back home and now you're on the other side of the river. You had a chance to. You get to see a lot. To be honest, you got to see the world in a way.
Yeah,
But now
yeah.
you get to see the other side of the river. You start coaching. You've gone through a lot emotionally, psychologically, physically. You learned a lot, stuff you didn't know, and now you have a chance to bring it back to Saginaw. What is this process like of coming back home and putting your foot down, taking a
My
stand?
yeah. My
Mhm.
first stint was Saginaw High JV team.
Okay, I knew
Uh,
Bridgeport. Okay.
yeah, we were Saginaw High JV team and we were undefeated. And then the first year was the year we went to the tournament and lost in the semifinals. And then the
Mhm.
next year, I was coaching the JV, another undefeated season.
Mhm.
But now a couple of my guys are playing varsity, and we go and we win a championship.
Mhm.
Then the third year, I coached about half of the season, and then I got a job that kind of took me away from coaching,
Mhm.
and they went back and won it again. So this is Draymond's time.
Mhm.
So Draymond won those two championships back to back, and then actually the
Mhm.
year before that they lost. They probably should have won three, um,
Wow.
but they lost that one in the semifinals. So we I figured maybe I have an opportunity to be a head coach, and so Bridgeport's job opens up. I applied for it, and I go over there. They won 7 games the year before I took over.
Mhm.
And then my first year, we win 9 games. So a little bit of improvement, but
Mhm.
we should have won a lot more than 9. But these kids are out of control, man. Let me tell you. Totally, totally out of control, no discipline.
Yeah.
Parents got so much to say about how things should be run and things like that.
Mm.
And I'm just I'm listening to them, but at the same time I'm running things the way that I know that will make these kids successful. And based on everything that I just went through, I know the ins and outs now. Now it's
Definitely.
not, I'm not the kid who doesn't know anymore. I'm the adult
Mhm.
now who can help these kids get to where they can go. And so my second year, we win 16 games. We lose 4, and then we go into the tournaments and we lost the first game of the tournament to
Mm.
we're ranked in the top 10 in the state by the end of the year, and we're doing pretty. Actually, it was top 20. We're doing
Mm.
pretty good. My third year, we come out undefeated for the first 15 games. So we're 15
Wow.
and 0. We're
Wow.
number 4. We're number 4 in the state. Um, I got some talented kids, but these parents are really trying their hardest to mess it up. Um, and they don't understand that I'm setting these kids up to where we'll be state champions in the next couple of years. If not that year that we were 15 and 0, we'll be state champions in the next couple of years. If you just follow my lead,
Look at
everything that I've gone
well, they
through.
don't look at it like that, but yeah.
No,
I
no,
would
they
say,
don't. They
look at the
don't.
trends. The trend is like showing where you're going, right?
They don't look at it. Every parent wants their kid to be the leading scorer. My
Mm.
leading scorer, his parents are totally out of control.
Mhm.
He's my leading scorer. He's the leading rebounder. He's everything. And they're trying to turn him against my nephew who plays on the team, who's 6'8". They're trying to turn them two against each other
Mhm.
when I'm trying to get these two to befriend each other at least while they're on the court. They don't have to be
Mhm.
friends outside the court, but when you're on the court, you need to be brothers and let's work together.
Yeah.
And so, but you got so much outside noise that these kids will not work together because there's so much outside noise. We end up being 19-2. So we
Mhm.
lost. We actually I think we were 20-2
Mhm.
because we lost the second game in the tournament this time.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so I ended up leaving, but I have set this program up to be great. I mean, I'm talking this program was going to be great. I coached a couple years at Saginaw Valley.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I was the Saginaw Valley assistant coach
Mm-hmm.
with my former Miami of Ohio assistant coach. So I coached for him
Mm-hmm.
for 2 years, and so and then had one more opportunity to go play overseas because I kind of stayed in shape during all this time.
Wow.
And so had one more opportunity to go play overseas. I didn't take it, um, but had I taken it, I probably could have snuck back into the NBA. Uh,
Wow.
I'm not even gonna say sneak back. I probably would have gotten back into the NBA because
Mm,
I was probably in the best shape of my life at this time.
mm,
Because I played with the kids. I would practice with them. I would show
mm-hmm.
them everything that I knew, and doing that, I was getting in shape. I was getting better shape,
Mm,
better shape. I was
mm-hmm.
shooting the best that I had ever shot. I was
Definitely.
jumping the highest I had jumped in a while.
Mm,
Um, like I was starting to find that love for the game again. And while I was
mm-hmm.
teaching it, the love was growing in me too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so got that offer to go play. I was the athletic director over at Bridgeport,
Wow.
and everything. Got that offer to go play, and I just didn't take it. And had an
Mm.
opportunity to coach my kids in the second grade. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And and then I coached Heritage Girls. And when I
Mm-hmm.
came over here, Coach Vonnie DeLong had just won two back-to-back state championships,
Mm,
and she was ready to retire. And I said, you know
mm,
what? Maybe if I go over to the girls, they'll listen, because girls tend to listen a little bit more
mm,
than boys do.
mm,
And so maybe if I go over to the girls, they'll listen. And I came over here and I found out that at Heritage, they didn't want the girls. I was told by administrators, I was told by a lot of different people, these girls have bad attitudes, and you're probably not going to want to deal with their parents, and they're not going to be good. So don't coach them. And the way that turned me is it made me want to say, I'm gonna prove them wrong.
I'll prove him wrong. Exactly how I would
Yeah.
look at it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But the problem is the kids that I'm dealing with don't think like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they do everything according to what the people told me.
Mm-hmm.
Bad attitudes, don't want to listen. Here I am. I'm one of the best to come out of. I'm already one of the top 25 forwards that ever in the state of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already ranked. I was first team 3 times, 2 times in high school, and second team 1 time, all state. So um, I was honorable mention the other year, my freshman year.
Wow.
Um, so here I am. I got all the credentials in the world, and these parents are telling their daughters not to listen to me.
Jeez.
I have connections to college coaches from Maryland to Michigan State to, you know, it's a girl that plays for Michigan State right now who's there because I talked to the Michigan State coaches that got her
They
there.
have the
I wasn't
person that
even
you needed to have.
they right. They have it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's these parents would not listen, and so they're telling their daughters not to listen, and so I ended up walking away. And while before I walked away, um, the they were trying to get they hired an athletic director who's not qualified for the job.
Mm-hmm. This is at Heritage.
Me, this is at Heritage.
Mm-hmm.
They hired an athletic director who's not qualified for the job. His wife works for the superintendent, and that's really
Mm-hmm.
the only reason why he got the job. I was
Mm-hmm.
in his interviews, and I could tell you he was the least qualified of everybody who was
Mm-hmm.
interviewed. He really only got the job because his wife worked with the superintendent.
Mm-hmm.
And so this guy comes in and he's 100% intimidated by me. And
Ugh.
so because he's intimidated by me, he's coming after me about everything. And so a friend
Oh
of
man.
his is the AD over at John Glenn,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy who's stealing money from John Glenn is trying to be the great white hope of John Glenn. So he's going to save John Glenn from the bad black people. And
Mm.
so what he does is he accused me of recruiting a girl that left John Glenn to come over to Heritage. Now, this
Mm-hmm.
girl's a JV player. She's a
Mm-hmm.
JV player.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to play. When she transferred over, I didn't even know she was transferring. I found out because my wife is a teacher at the school. That's how I found out this girl
Mm-hmm.
even transfers. And so my wife said, "Yeah, this girl introduced herself to me today." And she said her name was Reagan. And I was like, "Oh, I'm thinking I have two Reagans. It was a black Reagan and a white Reagan. Thinking it's a black Reagan for that, went to Carlton." And she said, "No, it's a white girl." And I was like, "Okay, white Reagan. I know who that is." It's like, "What is she doing at your school?" She goes to John Glenn. It's like, "No, she goes here. She's in my class." Like, wow, tell her to come see me. And
Uh-oh.
so she came to see me, and I'm like, "What are you doing here? Why are you at the school? What's going on?" And because I had coached her when she was in middle school
Mm-hmm.
as an AU coach. And so, long story short, they accused me of recruiting a girl. Um, they said I had her warming up with the team. They claim they had video of it. It's a total lie because the girl never warmed up with
Video?
the
What
team.
is going on? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, it was a total lie. They never showed me the video, so they
Mm-hmm.
never showed the evidence. And then so I was supposed to be suspended from the MHSAA for 2 years because of all of this foolishness and all these lies. Then the AD that was over at John Glenn had to quit his job because he was stealing money and he finally got caught. And that's really what he was trying to do, is make a smoke screen with me
Mm-hmm.
to get the eyes off of him and what he
Get
was
the heat
doing.
off them,
So
right? You're right.
yeah, so I just said, I'll never coach high school again with
Are
the
you
MHSAA.
serious?
Yeah, I'll never coach again. I don't believe in the MHSAA. I don't believe in what they're doing. They're 100%.
Man.
They're 100% backwards in their thinking. They're a little racist. um, all, all it took was a white man to say that I did something, and to them it was 100% true. There was nothing I could do to prove,
Oh.
even though the people who had accused me of it had no proof. They said they believe it anyway. And so that just tells me that this is not the type of organization that I want to be part of. And that included Heritage, who didn't back me at all. And
Not
it
at
actually
all.
turned out,
That was crazy to
yeah,
me.
yeah, they didn't back me at all. Actually, Heritage was the one who reported me.
Yep.
They lied to me during all this time, saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, we have your back. Just tell us what happened." And then the whole time they're talking to the girl and her mom, telling them to lie. They're
Mm-hmm.
trying to get the mom to say he did it. Don't help him out and all of this stuff. Again, this AD, he's a liar and he's a cheater, and it's just not the type of people I want to be around. So
I said
I
I
just
gotta
do my
sniff this guy
program.
out. I gotta sniff him out because like I was like, okay, I don't know this guy very well, but from what I would
Yeah,
know, this is like yellow journalism. This is like a smear campaign. This doesn't even feel real as
no,
I'm researching it. And you
yeah,
are who I expected you to be. And so now I'm thinking like, what are these people doing in regard to this story? You're not that kind of person.
no,
Okay, it's like, all right, maybe just maybe he made like a little mistake, didn't understand the
no,
policies, but I doubt it. And
no.
that's
I
not
was
even
the
the
I was the
case.
AD. I was the
Okay,
AD
you already know
of
because you was the
Bridgeport.
AD.
Yes, I know exactly what the rules are. And
Yeah, exactly.
why if I'm going to start recruiting girls, why would I start
For JV.
recruiting with a JV player?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm going to recruit somebody, I'm going to recruit the best player I can find to come to my school to help me win. She was not
Mm-hmm.
even going to play on my team, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just one of those things. And the craziest part is these people have that same girl still at Heritage playing on the team right now, and they
Mm-hmm.
will not put her in the game at all because of all of that stuff. So not only this tells you the type of people they are. They're trying to ruin this girl
Mm-hmm.
because of the smear campaign that they tried with me.
It's all because they
So
feel ashamed of themselves and guilty, so they're gonna keep
yeah.
pretending that this even was real in the first place.
Now all I do is Pride basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's the old Saginaw Pride. We've changed
Mm-hmm.
it to Pride basketball.
Mhm.
And my girls just won a national championship last year. So
Congratulations. Yeah.
yeah, I show what could happen when the kids are allowed to be coached. I show what can happen when the kids are allowed to be pushed to greatness. We were able to take a local team and go out and win the silver division and a national championship in Orlando, Florida.
And I'm not
So
surprised.
it's like, hey, I know what I'm doing. If the parents will allow me to coach your kids, I can get the best out of them. If you
And it's
want,
like, what do you really want? I talk to my wife about this sometimes. It's like, why do some people have kids sometimes? Like, why did
yeah,
you even decide to have kids if you don't want what's best for them?
right, right. I mean, and when you have people that are placed in their lives that can help them get to the next level, I can guarantee you none of these people that they've been around have the type of connections that I have with college coaches, with people in prominent positions in the county. I mean, I work for the Chamber of Commerce right now. Like I'm with all of the big time players who run this county.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm one of the people who help run this county.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why wouldn't you want your child around someone like me?
And back to the
Because I
character,
won't.
you want for them is a selflessness. You want for them.
Yes,
You're
yes,
giving back because what you've been through, you don't want someone else to experience that.
right, right. Nobody should have to go through what I,
No
what I
one should
went
have
through.
to go through it.
The problem is a lot of people are choosing to do it.
Oh man, it's crazy.